Star, shall I serve you some chicken?
Oh, okay, Mama. Just a small piece, though.
No. You should eat that here.
Hi, my name is Aslam and you're watching Curtain Call on Hi TV. So on the 13th and 14th of January, we'll be performing Once Upon a Family at the Lionel Wen. We first performed this play 3 months back in Kandy, and as tradition, we always bring our performance to Colombo.
Yeah? Why are you so moody at the table? It's nothing, Papa. Nothing to worry about. Come, son. Cheer up. Enjoy your meal. I shall, Papa.
This drama took me about 3 months to write and close to 2 years to stage. That's because it was conceptualized just before COVID. This story is about a very ambitious man who takes it upon himself not to give in to racial prejudice. This play was conceptualized, or rather I was sort of inspired to write this play watching two very famous, one is a movie and the other is a television series, Godfather and The Peaky Blinders. Now watching these two movies, I realized that the protagonists in both these stories were from the minority community. And it makes it very easy to tell a story, I realized, from the minority community, because then everything becomes a form of conflict. And a lot of topic can be easily explored.
We are more than trust, Ashraf. We are family.
And that is why I want to leave. Let Aya take over the family business.
And you what? You roam the streets and tarnish the family name? No, that will not happen.
Tarnish the family name? I have my own thing going. I'm working with a friend. We are partners now.
Karsila is the main character and it is played by Anas Hanifa. Anas has been with Sri Theatre Company from its inception. Karsila is a man that will not take no for an answer. Even if he says no, he will always work his way towards a yes. Fazmina Imamuddin, she joined us this year. She's a teacher and academic, and she plays Inaya, Karsila's wife. The other characters are the sons within the family. I don't want to explain too much about the characters because it might reveal the plot to you. And then they have a daughter. There is a butler, and I play the butler, which is not a big character, but I find it quite entertaining to play the role of Nana. He is quite observant within the household, sort of a funny character. And then we have our antithesis, the villain character in our play, Mr. Varnakula Surya. Although I call him the villain, I don't believe he's an evil man. He's a man so because of circumstances, and he's a man that has a plan, which is the driving force behind Once Upon a Family.
The scars he left on me will never leave, Mama. What was that Papa was holding in his hand? He was walking away like he was hiding something?
Well, don't you worry about him, Pita. You look dear him. If you want, you can join him from tomorrow. He's too old, you know.
So now the main character, Karsila, is an old man, well, that's relative, anyone would say, is in his early 60s, and he is someone that will not take no for an answer. He might say no, but he would work his way towards saying yes. His wife, Inaya, played by Fazmina Imamuddin, an actress, an educationist, teacher in Kandy, is the typical mother character. But she's a very powerful woman because she's got to keep up to this very ambitious personality, and it's a very loving character.
I only hope he thinks of himself that way. He always make me do his little trivial errands but won't let me make any investments of my own.
It's because you're still too young.
Young? Mama, I'm as old as he was when he took over his father's business. Papa thinks I'm incompetent. This is so frustrating.
Pita, I know he loves you. You know very well that he loves you.
What's love got to do with it, Mama? He doesn't trust me. I hope I have not brought any shame on him.
Sri Theatre Company was conceived in 2013. Our first play performed that year was 21st Century Monk. We managed to perform this play in Kandy and in Colombo, and was fortunate enough to take it down to India. The next play, and this is something I do regularly, I write a play every year if possible, was in It's All Amidst. That too I managed to bring down to Colombo and performed at the Borella Puncha Theatre. But the third play, Anarchy, I couldn't bring down to Colombo, but I managed to take it down to Gaul, which is a tragedy. That I hope to bring down to Colombo sometime soon.
Why do you say that? Alhamdulillah, you're alive. That's more than enough for me.
And then I have Once Upon a Family. And I believe as a writer, over the years, I've managed to learn the craft a lot more, get familiar with the audience that I encounter every time I perform. And I expect this play to not only make the audience think, it'll also entertain them. And I am pretty sure once the show is done and when they're having dinner, they'll have ample conversation to take them into the night. So if you're a romantic couple out on a date, it's sort of intense, but you will definitely have conversation to keep you going.
You young boys are now partners. In what?
Young boys.
There was a time in my life where I had to question myself and ask myself, why write in English? Now what I write is Sri Lankan theatre. The reason to why I write in English is also somewhat explained in the play. You can call them Easter eggs. You can pick on them once you watch the play. Now this drama is not only presented in English. It is presented in English predominantly, and then we also have a chunk in Sinhala and a little bit in Tamil. It revolves around a Muslim household, and in a Muslim household, all three languages are spoken daily to a certain extent. And it's a window to how Muslims live their lives, liberal Muslims live their life, and this is an opportunity for you to come and peek through this window and understand this very common world that we tend to over-exaggerate and not understand.
Sarah, will your brothers tell us what to do?
No, they will not.
How do we stop them if they do?
We'll leave. I have my shares.
Well, my share only comes monthly.
Ibrahim, you know, I find it very attractive when a man works for a living.
It'll not be more than what your brothers make.
My brothers don't work. Wapa works, and I think you work more with my Wapa than they do.
Now, Sarah, it's best we keep talks like that away from your brothers' ears.
Ibrahim, my brothers are spoiled to the hilt.
They don't know what it is not to be spoiled.
මොකද අස්ලම් අපි දුෂ්ටයා නිසා අපිව ඉන්ට්‍රොඩියුස් කරන්නේ නැත්තේ.
I want to end.
ඔය පම්පෝරේට කලින් අපිවත් පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්ට්‍රොඩියුස් කරලා හිටියා.
Hari. Here is my good friend Tobias Vishwabharata, the antagonist. We would also like him to call him the villain, but he's not a villain in real life. He's our good friend.
Some would beg to differ.
Maybe some would beg to differ. I wouldn't want to comment on that, but maybe. Now, I have got this opportunity of having Tobias here on the spot. So I can ask him any question and it will be on record. So let me take opportunity of this and fire some questions at you. So why did you join Sri Theatre Company?
Sri Theatre Company. Well, I was very excited watching you all on stage, I think I watched 21st Century Monk, your first production, and also Anarchy. I think I was lucky to see that in Candy. I was always interested in stage while in school, but never got the opportunity to sort of publicly perform. And I thought, since I've got a lot of experience in life, coming and acting on stage with all the background that I had would actually help you all. And also I'm very keen on helping young actors display their talents. So I'm like a sort of a side support.
It's good to be home, Mama.
Please, Puta, please.
The hospital smell can make one feel like a liability. I guess that's the smell of hopelessness. The smell of glory.
Now you had all the time to come up with that thought.
Well, what else do you do at the hospital, Mama? When one is bedridden, all he can do is let his thoughts wander.
Another question for you, putting you on the spot, but I guess I've asked this question from you before. What do you think about the character?
About my character? Well, I was very interested in playing it because I've actually gone through a lot of life experiences. Experiencing some of these
Cruel
situations,
situations.
and it was very easy for me to come and act. But about the character, I think is very typical in a very Sri Lankan context. The villain, or Varnakula Surya, as we call him, he's actually a typical bureaucrat in our political landscape. Takes advantages of the power that is given him and makes the maximum of it. So I think it's a very a good character that people can sort of identify. Sometimes themselves.
If I stayed there any longer, I would have turned out to be a philosopher.
No. You would have found Allah. These philosophers know nothing, Puta. The Quran knows best. And it was my prayers and Allah's mercy that kept you alive. So let's say Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Well, I can't argue with that statement.
No, you cannot.
And I'm not going to. It's good that we are celebrating rather
Yes,
than mourning.
Puta, it is. I was so worried about you.
I know, Mama. It all felt so fast. I can only remember flashes at being in the hospital. I heard that Malli had tried to come and visit me. Sarah had sent him away.
Why do you think they should spend, by the way, our tickets are priced at 3,000 rupees, 2,500 rupees, 1,500 rupees and 750 rupees. Considering the context of today's times, everything is expensive. Why do you think they should spend that sort of money and come and watch a drama?
They will actually be surprised to see how much in context this drama is. Though you wrote it about 2.5 years ago, I think everybody can identify themselves in the current political context. So it will actually get them thinking. There will be a lot of discussions at a dinner table maybe about the various characters. Obviously there is a very hot political debate that is happening in the country right now, and a lot of activity as well. And I think it will give another aspect, another talking point for people after watching the drama.
Right, if you were to tell our audience here or explain to them our play in 5 words, random words, they don't have to connect one after the other and make a sentence, but just 5 random words. You have to shout out 5 random words that epitomize this play. What will these words be?
Probably number 1 would be ambition. Then also there'll be family. Success at any cost.
Wait a second, let me stop you there.
Yes.
Success at any cost is 3 words. So you've now burnt out your 5.
Okay, so I will stop.
So don't stop. We'll just say success. We'll consider that ambition and make it 2 words still. So you 3 more to go.
Right, 2 words to go.
2 words to go.
So success at any cost. Then also maybe politics in Sri Lanka, and also talent.
Talent. That's very interesting. I too, I think, must observe this last word at our next rehearsal. That's a very interesting word.
Largest bond auction ever. The central bank will auction its largest bond handout to the people of Sri Lanka. This will also include a share of its sales to a limited number of foreign banks and financial institutions. Vapa, have you made inquiries about this?
This can wait up to. We have other priorities.
You are too old-fashioned, Vapa. You have to get into today's trends.
Read the next article.
New European trade agreement to benefit the private sector.
Didn't we trade with the world before, Abdul? I don't understand the hype to these agreements. You buy, you sell. It's a simple transaction.
Ibrahim Mali, times have changed. It's a bureaucratic and diplomatic affair. Now, we are a country that wants what the West has. And in return, they lay down their conditions, hold it back until we bow down our heads to them.
Aslam, you actually uploaded Once Upon a Family, the shots of it on Facebook, and lots of my friends are actually calling me and asking me information about it, ticket prices and where it's going to be held. Do you think you can, for everybody's...
Yes. Yes, I can. To know more about the play, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We go by the handle Shri Theatre and Shri Theatre Company. You can watch a few of our videos on YouTube. If you're very conscious of wanting to spend your money wisely and you need a bit more information about the play, there were a few reviews written about the play that is now available online.
The prices of tickets again, Aslam?
Yes, the tickets are priced at 3,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, 1,500 rupees and 750 rupees.
Now don't you believe any word that he says? If he can shoot me, every other cunning thing in the world he can complete with not ease.
Putha, it's your brother, your Malli, your blood. Can't you let things go?
Just let things go? The scar he left on me will never leave, Mama. What was that letter Vapa had? He walked away like he was hiding something from me.
Now don't you worry about your Vapa. Let's look into your end, Putha. Why don't you join him from Monday? He's getting old, you know.
I hope he thinks of himself that way. He will always let me go on trivial errands. I will not let me make any useful investment of my own accord.
Putha, you're still young for that.
Young? I am young. I was old as he was when he took over his father's business. Vapa thinks I'm incompetent. It's very frustrating.
But Abdul, you know very well your Vapa loves you.
What's love got to do with it, Mama? He does not trust me. I only hope I have not brought shame to him, Mama.
What do you mean?
I can see it in his eyes, Mama.
What nonsense are you blabbering, Abdul? Alhamdulillah, you're alive. And that's more than enough for me. It's not easy for parents to lose their children before them. And I almost did, and it was not easy for me. Abdul, look here. You're not a stubborn child. You never have been. You've always been obedient. I don't care what the world talks about you. What matters is you're alive. And that's more than enough for me. There's Now stop crying. And then